One of the key things that I talk about when talking with attorneys who want to open their own law firm is that they need to understand that if they're going to open their own law firm, lawyering is going to be the smallest part of their day. And that can be kind of like hard to understand, or like, what do you mean? Like, I'm a lawyer. Of course, I'm going to be lawyering most of the day. But that's not true when you are running your own law firm, because you are running a business. You are a business owner first, and then an attorney second. Okay. And so it's key that you understand that as you delve into entrepreneurship and owning your own law firm, you need to be okay with knowing that more of your time is going to be spent on running your business, building your business, growing your business, than the actual practice of law. And for some lawyers who just want to lawyer, becoming a solo attorney is not the right fit for them. They may be better off, or being maybe happier working for someone else who's running the business, so they can just focus on the lawyering. But for those of us who want to go out on our own, who are out on our own, it's important that we understand that lawyering is going to be the smallest part of your day. And I talked about this about a week ago. I was doing a presentation for Seattle U Law School. I'm here in the Seattle area. And I was talking with these newly solo attorneys. They weren't all new attorneys, but they were new to being a solo. They were kind of like in that first year or so maybe of going out on their own. And so I really kind of broke down what my day looks like as a solo attorney, and I wanted to share that with you in case you are looking to open your own law firm, or you're in the early stages of running a law firm and trying to figure out like what your day should look like. Now, early on, your days aren't going to look like mine. Mine come with, I've been doing this for 15 years now. And so I've kind of gotten a real good handle on my calendar, but I wanted to share with you kind of what my day looks like and kind of what you can expect things to look like. So the biggest part of my day, the most of what I do, generally speaking, on average, is sales. When I broke down, I kind of did like a pie chart for them, and I was like, I would say about 35% of my day is sales. I am bringing the clients in. I am signing people up and collecting the payments, okay? That is my job, to make sure I can pay the business overhead, pay myself, pay my 2 staff members, pay all, the taxes and all things that come with it. I've got to make sure the money is coming in the door. And for my practice, I have a consumer-facing practice. I do like estate planning and real estate and a little bit of bankruptcy, but I've kind of been phasing out bankruptcy. And so I have to make sure that that pipeline is continuing to stay full, and that I always have consults on my calendar, a few weeks or a month out, right? So the biggest part of my day on average, now, if you've seen how I've shared in other videos how I manage my calendar. So I don't do sales every day. This is kind of like on average, right? I break up my days. So some days I'm doing consults, some days I do signings, some days I do the legal work. So I really break it up. But on average, I would say about 35% of my time is spent doing the sales. So the next category of my pie chart, if you will, is building relationships with people, right? So that's about 25%. And that directly feeds into my sales, right? So I am continually going to events, even now, right? 15 years in, meeting new people, establishing new relationships, new referrals. I'm continuing to feed that pipeline for my future, for the future of my business. I don't know that I proactively need to do so as much as I do now, because again, I've been doing the same practice areas for 15 years, and geographically I'm in the same area for these past 15 years. So I have a pretty strong referral network, really strong relationships, and I've got a large number of past clients who refer to me also. But I continue to go out there and put myself in front of people and create these new relationships. And I think as a solo, and when you're responsible for all the bills and you're signing everybody's paychecks, you want to make sure that that pipeline is full at all times. And so I would say 25% of my time is spent building and nurturing new relationships and current relationships. You can't forget about the people who have referred to you. You can't just focus always on the new, the new, the new. You've got to make sure you're taking care of and nurturing the ones that you currently have. I was on another panel like a month ago, and one of the gals who's an attorney also, she is far better at this than I am, and she has like this whole spreadsheet where she tracks and is color coded of like red, yellow, and green, and how often she has like different touches with people. It was very impressive, far better than me. I don't do that. I think that's amazing. But I do have a list of kind of like my referral, partners, contacts, and I try to look at it, quarterly or whatever it may be. I'm like, oh, I should reach out to so-and-so. Oh, I should just check in on so-and-so, right? And so ensure that you're nurturing and growing those relationships is going to directly impact your pipeline of new clients coming in the door, especially if you have a consumer-facing practice like me, right? Estate planning, real estate, criminal law, family law, immigration. I mean, there's so many practice areas where you're dependent on that. If you have more of like an appellate practice or an administrative practice, it might be a little bit different. But for most of us as solos, we're going to need to make sure that we're continuing to feed that pipeline at all times, right? It never stops. All right, next I have on here, I have two things at 15% each. One of them is HR, so like just the management of the business side of things, right? I have a accountant, I have a tax, a bookkeeper, I have a tax preparer, I have professionals who that's what they do, and I pay them to do their jobs because I am not a bookkeeper, I am not a tax preparer, even though I could do it myself. I feel like I probably could. It's not worth my time. I can pay them less than what I could use that time to earn, right? And also it's just not a good use of my time. And then also I would say, let's see, content creation. So in my law firm, we have our website. I write blogs for my own law firm website, and I write blogs for a local community blog, which has been a great resource for me as far as clients. So I write those two blogs, and then I also make video content for our firm's YouTube channel, which I just recently learned was named one of the, Lawmatics. I'll link it below, but it named my firm's YouTube page one of the top 9 lawyer YouTube channels to watch or be inspired by. I was so oh my gosh, and my YouTube channel is so small. But you don't need a big YouTube channel. We're not trying to be YouTubers, right? We're trying to get you and your firm in front of your potential client, right? So even if you have a video that only has, let's say it has 60 views, if 2 of them are people in your jurisdiction who need help, who reach out and call you, it's worth it, right? It's worth it. I have received many paying clients from my YouTube channel for my law firm. So, and there's not a lot of competition. A lot of attorneys don't do it. They're not comfortable on video. They don't want to do it, so they don't. So it's very small competition for you. I highly advise it. It costs you virtually nothing, right? You can use your iPhone. I don't. I do use an actual camera. But use any camera. If you got to use your phone, use your phone. You don't need a fancy setup. Just prop it up somewhere in front of a window and make a 5 to 10 minute video answering a question, answering an FAQ. Then you post those on your website, share them on your blog, share them on your firm's social media, put them on the YouTube channel, and it will begin to attract, because Google owns YouTube, right? So when somebody is Googling, why do I need a will? My video that answers that exact question is going to pop up in the organic YouTube results, because paying for SEO, that is expensive. And if you're just starting out in your solo journey, I tell all my solos, we are on a shoestring budget. We are not spending a lot of money on our law firms. Unless you just have an endless amount of money to throw at it, great. But you don't need to. In order to be successful, you do not have to spend a bunch of money. So don't feel like you need to go into debt and loans and credit cards to open your law firm. You don't need to. I do have a video. It's a year or 2 old now, but it's still fully applicable on how I opened my law firm. I think it was under $2,500. I did everything myself, right? And I'm not very tech savvy. So if I can do it, you can do it 100%. And then the last little piece, the 10% of my practice is me actually practicing law, okay? And this is because I have, in part, designed it this way, right? I've been doing this for so long that I have a lot of my documents and systems automated, right? And I have, 2 support staff who help me. So once I do the consult and I close that sale, I can pass the file off to my team and say, hey, we're doing this, and this. They can take it and they can get it done. So they do all the legal work of, preparing it according to my instruction, right, as the lawyer. Then they give it back to me. I review it, make any tweaks to it, revisions to it, and then it goes to the client for review. I'm referring to my estate planning practice right now when I'm explaining this process. But I don't have to do all the legal documents and prepare everything from scratch because I have a team that supports me. You may not have a team now, and that's fine, but you will. You will get busy enough to where you need some help. It might be some part-time virtual help. That's fine, but you're going to get some help. Okay, but before that, you can do document automation and have systems and processes to be able to automate a lot of these things for you. So that is my 100% of how I spend my time. Again, day to day, it can change. It's not the same every day, but I would say on average, that's kind of what my time looks like as it pertains to my law firm and how I apportion my time and what I focus on as a priority. Again, as a solo, you are the one out there getting that new business in the door, feeding that pipeline. So make sure that you are spending adequate time working on those things. All right, I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.